adventure seekers, welcome to another video here from Jordan. Today we are going to explore the Dead Sea, but also the whole area, because there's way more to see than just the sea here behind me. And that's why at first I'm going to take you to a canyon that is very close to the Dead Sea, and we are going to do a little hike there in the canyon. That's what we are going to do for now, and later we will come back here to the Dead Sea and enjoy the full Dead Sea experience. Alright, I just arrived at the Mujib Adventure Center, and the canyon that we will explore right now is right behind me here. We will enter here now, and then we have to pay an entrance fee of 25 euros per person. The entrance is limited to 100 people at the same time only. That is why we decided to arrive in the morning to ensure that we were able to enter. We just picked up our life vest and now it's going on that hike. It will take about 2 to 3 hours depending on how fast we are. This bridge is where we are going to start now. And as far as I understood it correctly, it is a one-way trail, so we will go all the way this way and then have to return the exact same way. The life vest is included in the price, and you can optionally also book a guide or a waterproof bag and shoes for the canyoning. Alright, here is what I expected. We were in the desert, which usually means that there's not that much water to be expected. So when I heard about the canyoning tour close to the Dead Sea, I was expecting a tiny and calm river that wouldn't even reach my knees. I definitely was not expecting this to be a super exciting canyoning trip full of adrenaline and hard exercise. Neither was I expecting to get too wet here. I'm curious, so feel free to let me know in the comment section below what your expectations of a canyoning tour in the desert are. Alright, there's the water. I was already having my doubts that we will see water here because it's actually summer right now. Summer in Jordan means it's super hot and dry. And as you can see here behind me, there's like nothing. But there's water here, and this is where we are going now. So this already exceeded my expectations, to be honest. But, spoiler alert, in just a few moments Jordan surprised me even more. Alright, the water feels amazing. It is super hot here, but the water is really nice and refreshing. It's important to bring good shoes, but if you don't have any waterproof shoes or shoes that are good to hike in water, you can rent them here as well, so don't worry about that. One thing is for sure, the nature alone in this area is beautiful and impressive. We finally reached the shadow. Here it's actually really nice and not too hot anymore. And we are walking against the current. It is not super strong, but you will notice it is a little bit exhausting. Nevertheless, the water was very shallow in this area, and therefore walking through it wasn't a problem at all. This canyon has already been worth a visit at this very first moment. This canyon is so impressive, and there were hardly any people. At some parts the water gets up to your knees or a little bit above your knees, and there you will notice the current a lot. It is quite exhausting, and at some parts it is quite strong actually. But the water is not too deep. It's a really beautiful place. I am really enjoying this canyon. It is super impressive. Alright, we are now getting to a place that looks a little bit fun, but I will also better put my GoPro into a waterproof bag because I'm a little bit afraid to lose it there. And that, guys, was the moment when I realized that this canyoning tour is not going to be as easy as I had thought, and that I will definitely get way wetter than expected. Yep, even in a desert, there can be lots of water found. Alright, I'm taking back what I said before. It does get way more exhausting and a bit harder than before. The currents here were actually quite strong and you cannot see the ground, so it is a bit difficult. They put ropes up so you easily use them to get up. One of the reasons why I am putting this into this video is because if you are deciding to do this, I want you to have a more accurate expectation than I did. I had absolutely no idea that I would literally have to climb up a waterfall. The photos I saw from this canyon were all in shallow water, so I expected this to be a rather relaxed hike. But the more I enjoyed this tour now. This was super exciting, challenging and fun, and I absolutely loved it.
Everything I said before, it is definitely manageable, but it's hard. Climbing up the waterfall, there's the part where you cannot see anything, you can't breathe because of all the water, and you need some strength in your arms, that's for sure. But it is manageable and it's fun. I'm really enjoying this.
In total, there are 9 of these challenges throughout the trek. Sure is, you will get soaking wet there. Thanks to a very well maintained way, this is all manageable and highly enjoyable. And then we reached the end of this trek, where we found one last waterfall and also enough space to rest a little bit.
Super fun, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting all of this here. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but I definitely didn't expect to get completely wet. And don't look at me, I am soaking wet. It is way harder, there's a lot of water in some parts, it's quite deep and the current is super strong, but it was so much fun. And we will rest here a little bit and then go back the same way that we came to the starting point.
Being at the waterfall was nice and refreshing, but it was soon time to walk back the same way as we came to the entrance. Even though the trek back was the same, we were now able to use it in a slightly different way and could slide down some paths that before we had to climb. The way back was faster and way more relaxed. The whole trek was way more fun than I had expected it to be. I've never heard people who went to Jordan talk about this canyon, but I think it's definitely time to change that.
We are now almost back to the place where we started. That means we are at the end of this trek, of this trekking tour. It was super fun. I really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend you to come here if you are in the area of the Dead Sea. This is a very unique and super fun experience, and for sure, for me, it is a must-do if you are here in this area. Despite the current and the water, I would definitely say this place is made for anybody who is into water activities. For me, it was super fun. It was a bit exhausting, yes, but definitely not too much. And well, guys, this is it. You can see I'm a mess. It was definitely more exciting than I was expecting. When I googled it, I saw videos, I saw photos with water that came up to the knees, and I wasn't expecting to get soaking wet as I am right now, but it was super fun. I really enjoyed this place, and yeah, put that one on your list if you come to Jordan. Now it's time to continue this trip to the Dead Sea, as we are very close to the Dead Sea. Of course, I'm going to show you that one as well, and we will go to beach now. I will show you the experience on the Dead Sea. I will tell you a little bit about the area and also tell you how to get there. Hello adventure seekers, welcome to the Dead Sea of Jordan. This is the lowest point on earth. We are now going to explore the Dead Sea together. There are various ways to get to the Dead Sea of Jordan. The most economical one is probably this one that I'm doing right now. This is completely for free. There's a beach down there. And there's one thing that you should know. There are a few beaches here on the Dead Sea that are for free, but apparently some of them are quite dirty. We will see how this one is down there. Up here you can see a little bit of garbage that people just leave here. But down there it seems to be quite nice. Let's see how it is from closer.
The topic with the garbage, by the way, is the absolutely only negative thing I can say about Jordan. Sadly, it seems to be quite common for Jordan people to just leave their garbage anywhere.
Alright, we can clearly see the salt here in the water on the shore and also some rock formations, some salt formations here. The Dead Sea is called Dead Sea because there's actually nothing living in this sea, because it is so salty that nothing would be able to survive here. It is almost 9 times as salty as any other sea on earth, and that is also the reason why you can float here in the water and you will actually never sink. This sea is not only the saltiest sea on earth, it is also the lowest point on earth. We are almost 400 meters below sea level. Alright guys, it is possible to get into the water here on this beach as well. As you can see, there's a lot of salt in front of the beach. One important hint. As the water is super salty, make sure that you do not have any open wounds. And with open wound, I mean any kind of rash or anything. It can be a very tiny scratch or anything else. That will just be extremely painful and you do want to avoid that. Also, they do recommend not to shave before going into the Dead Sea, because also shaving will give you micro wounds and that will be just painful. And you will not enjoy the bath here in the Dead Sea. So make sure to think about that. And yeah, then you are fine to go and to enjoy the swim in the Dead Sea. I mentioned before, there are various ways to explore the Dead Sea. This one here is a public beach and it's free to use, but there are different ways. You can also, for example, stay at a hotel or pay a day pass at one of the hotels that have a private beach area. These private beach areas in general are cleaner and very well maintained. I am going to stay at a hotel, so yeah, I am going to show you the beach hotel as well, of course, and I would say this is what we are going to do right now. Alright guys, it is time for part 2 of the Dead Sea experience. We are now at the hotel area and we will go to the private beach of the hotel. Now the problem of the Dead Sea is that the water is getting less and less every year. You can see here a sign behind me that also says that the water level in the year 2000 came up to this point. And now, if you have a look behind me, the Dead Sea today is still quite far away.
We saw more similar signs like that on our way towards the sea. The water level of the Dead Sea declines by more than 1 meter per year. This is a man-made ecological disaster. The main water source of the Dead Sea is the water coming from the Jordan River and the Sea of Galilee. Since water in this area of our planet is scarce, humans have used these water streams for their own personal needs. Nowadays, the water flow towards the Dead Sea has become so insignificant that more water is removed from it than can be replenished by natural means. This causes a tremendous decrease of water level of the Dead Sea and also huge dangerous sinkholes on the Israeli and Palestine side of the Dead Sea.
So this is what the beach of the Dead Sea looks like in one of the hotels. There are actually several hotels here in this area. These hotels are huge, they come with everything. You can easily spend the whole day there. And of course they have always a very well-maintained beach area as well, and they also offer the mud experience here. If you've seen that before, people with the black mud on their skin, it's supposed to be
a very good treatment for your skin because the mud that comes from the Dead Sea has lots of minerals that are supposedly extremely good for your skin. That is why people are doing this. So the beaches here from the hotels, they all offer these things. The hotels also offer a day pass. So for 40 euros per day and per person, you can also just spend the day in one of the hotels here. 40 euros was what I found on the internet. I'm not sure if there's maybe a hotel that would offer it for a little bit less. In general, if you definitely want to enjoy a beach of the hotel, think about it. Like if you come with 2 people or even more, it may even be more economical to just spend your night in the hotel and then you can use all the areas as well. Spending a night in the hotel might be even more economical than paying 2 or 3 times the day pass for just to use one of those beaches here. The magical mud that is supposed to be extremely good for your skin. It doesn't look that nice, but I'm going to use it anyway. Let's see if it works. Alright, this for me is enough. I need to let it dry now. That's what they said. We have to let it dry and then wash it off in the Dead Sea. It is a bit itchy and it smells a bit weird, but let's see if it works, right? Alright, I'm going to wash this off in the Dead Sea now. It actually feels super hot in the sun, and that's why I'm going to wash it out now. Careful when washing it off, because you do not want to get a single drop of this water in your eyes. I have experiences with that and trust me, it hurts as shit. Floating in the Dead Sea has something very soothing and relaxing and I enjoyed this a lot. It is not recommended to stay in the water for more than 15 minutes though, because the salty water might do your skin some harm if you overexpose it to it. Alright, this was actually a very fun experience. You feel completely weightless in that water. You can float without any problems. It was now time to go back to the hotel to enjoy more of the hotel sights. The hotels in this area are huge and usually come with a nice pool area. And of course, I had to give the slide a try. Whether you prefer the hotel or the free beach Dead Sea experience is completely up to your preference and also to your budget, of course. For me, both places have advantages and disadvantages. For example, I thought that the free beach looked more special and beautiful due to the clearly visible salt in the water and the crystal clear water. But on the other side, the beach was also less comfortable and dirtier. The hotel beach, on contrary, was very clean. You can easily spend the whole day there and also relax, as well as use other parts of the hotel and enjoy an Arabian night that is offered by a lot of hotels. Anyway, you definitely shouldn't miss out on watching the sunset at some part of the Dead Sea. It's time to watch the sunset, which means that this day is almost over and therefore also this is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this little tour here in the area of the Dead Sea of Jordan. For me personally, this was a very fun day, a very active day. And I was really positively surprised about this area here of Jordan. It is a really beautiful area and also a super fun area. I really recommend you to come here. Everybody is always talking about Petra, but guys, do not forget to put the Dead Sea also on your bucket list if you are planning a trip to Jordan. Alright, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would highly appreciate it if you could support my work by giving me a thumbs up. And also, if you have any questions left, make sure to drop them below in the comment section and I will answer all of them little by little. And if you don't want to miss out on any further adventures, make sure to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video.